If there's one thing I think everybody can agree on when it comes to the internet, it is having the right to talk about anything you want and be able to give criticism to things that you may dislike and voice your own opinion. That is something I would like to think that everybody universally agrees on and thinks that's a good thing. But for this story that I'm talking about today, this is something that is not the case. It's actually a wild one, all things considered, because there's no reason why this should have ever gotten to the point it has. And you can't help but just be scared if this was something that could happen to yourself, all just because you made a review online. It's insane to say that. So to give you a quick breakdown of the lore, essentially what happened was this lady made a review of a tomato product online and she got arrested for it because she was giving her own opinion, and unfortunately for that company, her opinion wasn't actually good of it, and so they decided to take their own legal actions on top of the actual country's own legal proceedings in regards to having criticism online, which is wild to even say that as it is. But let me just explain it. So it says right here, Chioma, a 39-year-old entrepreneur from Lagos, is being prosecuted and sued in a civic court for allegedly breaching the country's cybercrime laws in a case that she gripped the West African nation and sparked protests by locals who believe she is being persecuted for exercising her right to free speech. And it tells you right here, she wrote an online review of a canned tomato puree, is facing imprisonment after its manufacturer accused her of making a malicious allegation that damaged his business. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. If someone doesn't like your product, so be it. I don't think someone making a review of your product is somehow malicious intent, or the fact that your company should be big enough to the fact that you shouldn't even give a shit what someone else's opinion is. If your product's good, it will speak for itself. Just because someone says it's shit doesn't mean it's the end of the world. I don't think that this lady made a review and then they're like, oh my fucking God, we need to go protest, because that's the way I'm understanding from what I read. They make it sound like that she just incited protests left and right and say, fuck this company, it is fucking trash, we don't like. I don't think that that's the case. No shot, bro. But I could be wrong. Let's keep on going. It says Okoli, a small-scale importer of children's wear, told CNN that on September 17th, she asked her 18,000 followers on Facebook to share their opinions about a tomato puree she bought in place of her usual brands, saying she found it too sweet. Seems pretty harmless. She didn't like it. She found it too sweet. That's fine. It says her post, accompanied by a photo of an open can of Nagato tomato mix produced by local company Erisco Foods Limited, sparked varied reactions from commenters. One whom replied, "Stop spoiling my brother's product. If you don't like it, use another one, then bring it to social media or call the customer service." And then Nicole responded back by saying, "Help me advise your brother to stop killing people with his product. Yesterday was my first time using it and it's pure sugar." Now, of course, that's kind of like a pretty, you could say maybe a little bit pushing it in the statement. They're sitting there saying that, hey, the product's, killing people. I mean, that's pretty much an exaggeration on her end. I'm pretty sure it's not. I would hope it's not. But at the same time, to sit there and go into someone's comment sections and say, stop using it and don't take it to social media or instead go to customer service, well, it's that for you to decide. It's not your place. People have a free choice to express if they like or dislike something, and she clearly did not like it, and that's perfectly fine. People do this all the time. This isn't brand new. I can sit there and make a review of movies, TV shows, and I'll be like, hey, do y'all like this movie? Was it good? Was it not? Personally, I think it was dog shit. What, is this movie company now going to go find me and be like, oh shit, hey, we didn't like your review. Your shit's harsh. If you don't like our movie, why don't you write us an email instead of posting it online? Because motherfucker, y'all not going to read that shit. Y'all don't care about that shit. No big corporation gives any shits about actual written feedback for the most part. I'm sure there might be one or two that does, but no one gives a shit. So what's the point of going through customer service when that doesn't do anything? Time and time again, it has shown that the only way to get a company to acknowledge or understand anything, if you're dissatisfied with a product or you feel like you've been ripped off or any form of that case, you have to sit there and express it online and hope that it gains traction. And then the company is pretty much forced to reply back, as opposed to if you go to reach out to customer service, they're like, oh, we hear your concerns, we'll do something about it. When in reality, they're not. It continues on by saying that a week later, she was arrested. It says, in legal filings seen by CNN, the Nigeria police force alleged that Okoli used her Facebook account with the intention of instigating people against Erisco's Foods, adding in a statement on March 7th that it had unearthed compelling evidence against her from his preliminary investigation. Someone not liking something is, let me make sure I read this right. They used it with the intentions of instigating people against the company. She didn't like it. She just asked other people what they thought about it and if they had it. I don't think that's her specifically stating. Now, here's the thing. It would be a different story if she's sitting there and say, hey guys, I don't like this product. And you know what? To sit there and show that we don't like it, go to their account, start making all these tweets, saying all this shit, go to all their social media, make videos. That's like instigating to try and go after a company. But you say that you dislike something and that you personally don't like it, in my opinion, that's not really doing anything. And then the fact that a company's brother went into the comment section to even say that, I would say he's the one that instigated. He's the one that pushed the fire and threw gasoline on it by sitting there saying that and say, oh, you shouldn't even be making this. Go to our company instead. You're sitting there adding fuel to the flame. Instead, just ignore it, bro. Don't reply to it. It's no point. So I got curious and I went to their official press release, and I mean, it doesn't really offer anything that's actually useful information or justifies their decision. It just says at this juncture, it's imperative to caution members of the public against spreading misinformation and attempting to manipulate public sentiment. What misinformation? It's an opinion. There is no misinformation. It's literally a fucking opinion. The only misinformation that I could see them gravitating towards, and maybe the only case that they would have, is her statement saying to tell your brother for your product to stop killing people. That is obviously a exaggeration, and that is a false statement. That is the only thing that they could gravitate towards. But I don't think that that statement alone is enough or even going to convince anybody to be like, oh shit, this product's going to fucking kill people. I can't buy this now. There's no way. I don't believe that for 1 second. The law operates impartially, and any attempt to subvert it will be met with the full force of legal action. The recent developments in this case are deeply worrisome, particularly the use of crowdfunding as a means to influence legal proceedings. Such actions undermine the integrity of the justice system and threatens the principle of fairness and accountability, as they are highly inimical to the existence of the rule of law. Now, this is funny because I'm pretty sure I know what this is talking about. I haven't really read too much about this part in particular about the crowdfunding, but I'm pretty sure I know what it's for, but we'll get to that in a second. Continuing on, it says, according to the police, Okoli was charged with instigating Erisco Foods Limited, knowing that the said information is to be false under Section 24(1)(b) of Nigeria's Cybercrime Prohibition Act. If found guilty, she could face up to 3 years in jail or a fine of 7 million or 5,000 USD or both. Okoli was separately charged with conspiring with 2 other individuals with the intention of instigating people against Erisco Foods Limited, which the charge sheet noted, which was punishable under Section 27(1)(b) of the same act. She risked a 7-year sentence if convicted of this charge. That is, again, fucking stupid. That is insane. Opinion. Sure, she could have had better words instead of telling someone that, hey, tell your brother for your product to stop killing people. Yes, that's maybe a little extreme, but again, on the other hand, the motherfucker should have never commented shit to begin with. He should have just let it be. At the end of the day, her original statement was that she just thought it was too sweet, and she asked her followers what they thought of it. But as far as I can tell, and maybe I'm just completely off the mark, she hasn't said anything that's really out of pocket or knowing that the said information to be false, again, other than the fact that she believes that the product is killing people. That's the only real thing that I saw. But again, I don't think that that's really a statement in its own right that's worth even going to the point of sending someone to jail for 3 years or even 7 years plus and then fining them a shitload of money. That's insane, dog. That's, again, it's literally just an opinion. It's an exaggerated opinion, sure, but it's still an opinion at the end of the day. There are so many other things that you could be taking people to jail for, and for actual real crimes, this isn't one of them. Continuing on, says Okoli is also being sued in a separate civil case brought by Erisco, which said in a statement issued on January 19th that was defending his reputation after her comments resulted in several suppliers deciding to disassociate themselves from us, which, again, I call cap. As some other people have already pointed out, I highly doubt that the reason of companies wanting to disassociate themselves is a fact of her review against someone who only has 18,000 followers, which is nothing to snuff at, of course. But it's like someone saying, oh yeah, you got 10,000 subscribers. Definitely your opinion is going to hold some sway against the general public. No, it doesn't. No shot, bro. It'll be different if I had over 1 million subscribers and I was getting like 500,000 views every single video. Yes, you might hold a statement, but I got 10,000 subscribers. That is, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, that is nothing, and it holds no weight. So for this company to act like that her opinions really had that much sway, I sincerely doubt it. And as other people have said, it's probably due to the fact of how the company is treating this entire situation, that those other companies want to disassociate themselves with them. Because I I'll be like, oh shit, hey, yo, this is how you're treating people? This is how you handle a situation like this? I'll be honest, bro, I don't know if I want to be associated with you. This is fucking wild. That's personally what my opinion is, and how I honestly think a lot of these companies would probably see it as well too. Then the company said that it also suffered the loss of multiple credit lines and had therefore filed a civil lawsuit against Acoli that sought more than $3 million in damages. This case is due to be heard on May 20th, her lawyer told CNN. A spokesman of Erisco Food told the CNN company that they would not speak further on the case because it's pending in court of competent jurisdiction. It just keeps on going and going and going. Like, it's a really shitty situation ultimately for her. She shouldn't have to deal with this. The fact that the company wants to go for $3 million in fine, they want to send her to prison for more or less plus 10 years. Because if you add the 7-year sentence and then a 3-year sentence, you're at 10 years. And then a $3 million fine. And then it's already asking here a public apology is required. And to add on top of that, she's pregnant with her 4th child. This shit, it's a whole fucking shitty situation. And honestly, they deserve to get all the flack that's being sent their way because this is bullshit. This is honestly complete bullshit. And no one should be treated like this at all. There is in no universe why someone should ever be penalized for voicing their opinion and just talking about that they don't like something or they're offering criticism towards something. That is what her situation was. It was criticism. For what they could sit there and potentially say in court that her one line that is the only thing that stood out to me was claiming what the product could do to someone. That's a stretch. That's a long stretch to sit there and claim that opinion alone, that one sentence would even be enough to offer any real damages to a company, because I don't think that that's even possible. Now, at least there is some form of good news that they have a countersuit going on. It said in October they filed a $361,000 countersuit on behalf of Acoli against Erisco and the police at a Lagos court, challenging her arrest and detention, which he said violated her constitutional rights to personal liberty and freedom of movement. In court papers relating to the countersuit, they argued that his client's arrest was also a breach of her constitutional rights to freedom of expression. He said that he would also ask the court where she is being tried for cybercrime violations to transfer the case to Lagos, where she lives, at the next hearing set for April 18th. And then one thing I did find interesting was they had one of the legal and public affair analysts that they said right here. They asked him about the freedom of speech defense, and it says no laws guarantee absolute freedom. He said, while we have our freedom of expression, there are limitations. You can't defame or malign someone, which again, I don't think that she defamed anyone. I don't see it at all. One statement is not enough to really defame anyone in a way that I think holds any significant weight. And then they finish off by saying that, however, that cybercrime is difficult to prove in court. You have to prove actual harm when the post was made. Erisco must prove that the Facebook post by Acoli affected his business at the point it was made. He noted that in Acoli's post, she used the word with 3 asterisks, which could be open to interpretation. And so then the company founder of Erisco's made their own statement. Oh my God. It said that he won't drop the lawsuit against Acoli and that he would rather die than allow someone to tarnish my image I worked 40 years to grow. Dog, it's one person's opinion. And then if other people agree with it, then other people don't like your product as well too. I don't think that she held that much weight that she could sit there and convince people to be like, oh yeah, this product shit. If people like a product, they don't give a shit who else has to say anything about it. That is the natural state of this world. If people like it, they're going to like it no matter who talks shit about it. People don't like it, they're going to not like it. As simple as that. These people don't just sit there and be like, oh fuck, she don't like it, I guess I don't like it either. I don't think that was the case. And their argument is sitting there saying that she caused so much damage because of her one statement regarding it, and then I guess her one comment replying back. I really don't think they have a case, personally, in my opinion. Now, I was curious to see if there was any actual screenshots of her post, and I don't know why this shit's so low quality like we're back in the early 2000s, but her post said, I went to buy 10 tomatoes yesterday that I will use to make stew. I didn't see Gino and Sonia, so I decided to buy this one. When I opened it, I decided to taste it. Sugar is too much. Let me know if you have used this 10 tomato before, because this is like, I don't know that word, but situation. I'm assuming this is shitty situation. And then this screenshot shows the company's brother making a statement, and her replying back saying, help me advise your brother to stop killing people with his product. Yesterday was my first time using it and it's pure sugar. And then that was her response. Again, I really don't think that there was anything wrong with her statement in the sense of defaming or whatever the fuck allegations that they're throwing her way at this point. It's just criticism. It's honestly just criticism in her opinion of a product. And that's really what it should just be left at the end of the day. But again, that's just my opinion. Anyways, you made this far into the video. Consider giving a like, subscribing to the channel. Leave me a comment on what you think. Have a great day. Yeah.